So you start checking one more thing, and now it's an hour later. In the next hour, you'll rewire that last 10% with simple nervous system tools. If you miss this, you'll ship less, trust yourself less, and keep playing small. Let's name what leaving work at 90% is really costing you. Quick win right now, the 60-second micro-shame reset. Ready. First, double exhale. Long breath out, little sip of air, then push the rest out. Do that twice. Second, label it out loud or in your head. Micro-shame. You're telling your threat system what's happening. Third, tiny ship in 2 minutes. Pick the smallest visible finish, export the file, send the calendar invite, publish the draft to yourself, not the world. 2 minutes. Go. Why this works? The label names the threat, the exhales lower arousal fast, and the tiny finish gives your brain a safe completion hit. This becomes your minimum viable momentum. It flips inertia to motion. Keep that in your pocket. Now here, why your brain throws a last 10% tantrum in the first place. The hidden cost of 90% done. Open loops bleed energy. You know that weird hum in the background when a fan's on and you only notice it after it stops? That's your brain with 90% projects. Each one keeps a slice of attention reserved just in case. You move through your day a little heavier, a little slower, because part of you is bracing. It shows up as tired for no reason, scrolling when you meant to work, or staring at the screen like your brain on airplane mode. Emotionally, it's low-grade dread. You don't think, yes, unfinished task number 7. You just feel a drag when you pass the folder name. You avoid opening it because you know there's a decision waiting, and decisions feel like risk when eyes might see the result. That tiny hit compounds. One avoidance becomes 3. By the weekend, you're carrying a bag of almosts. Identity takes the hit next. After a while, you start to see yourself as someone who doesn't finish. You might not say it out loud, but the story sneaks in. I'm great at starting, I'm bad at shipping, and stories shape behavior. If I don't finish becomes the script, your brain protects that identity, weirdly enough, because known discomfort feels safer than unknown outcomes. So you lower your bar in small ways. You don't pitch that client, you keep the idea private. You pretend the draft is in progress when it's just stuck. The opportunity cost is brutal. Unshipped ideas don't compound. You don't get feedback loops. No one can tell you what hit, what missed, how to make it better. So your next version isn't actually smarter, it's just different. And you lose time making changes no one asked for. Meanwhile, the person with medium work who ships on time gets real signals, iterates twice, and ends up with great work by lap 3. I've watched clients who simply increase their shipped count, double their leads in 60 days. Not with fancy funnels, just by closing the loop often enough to learn. Here's the belief break. You think more time will fix it. You think if I just hold this a bit longer, polish a bit more, I'll feel ready. But the stall isn't about time. It's about safety. As done gets real, visibility grows, and your nervous system does the math. Finished equals exposure, exposure equals evaluation, and evaluation might equal shame. So it pumps the brakes. If you only give yourself more time, you're feeding the part that wants to stall. You're buying more runway for fear to rehearse. And here's where the stakes jump. This isn't about crossing tasks off a list, it's your self-trust. Every time you promise a finish and don't, you teach your brain your word is soft. That kills momentum in sneaky ways. You stop making clear promises even to yourself. You dodge start times because you don't want to face another broken commitment. And without self-trust, tools and tactics don't stick. You can have the best planner on earth and still drift if your body expects you to bail at 90. You've probably felt the difference on days you did finish something simple. Send the invoice, click export, book the dentist. Your mind feels brighter. You look at the next thing and think, okay, one more? That glow isn't magic. It's your system getting a clean completion signal. When you skip that, you miss the chemical nudge that makes the next action easier. So the day stays heavy. You keep searching for motivation in videos and apps instead of in small ships that create it. Let's be blunt. Leaving things at 90 is expensive. It drains energy, it warps identity, it blocks growth, and it fractures self-trust. And the worst part is how normal it can feel. You might be calling it preparing or being thorough. But if honest, you knows it's fear of being seen, that silence costs you more than any rough edge ever would. So what exactly fires in your brain at 90%? Why does almost done feel more dangerous than not started? You're about to see the glitch. Once you can name it, you can move through it. And once you can move through it, Done stops being a threat and starts being a safety signal. The micro-shame glitch explained neuroscience. So here's what's actually happening under the hood when you hit 90 and your body slams the brakes. Micro-shame is a tiny, fast threat spike that shows up as your work moves from just me to might be seen. Your brain tags that shift as exposure. Not huge danger, not tiger, but enough to flip your state. You feel it as tight chest, scattered focus, the sudden urge to tweak fonts. That urge isn't taste. It's your threat system asking for time. Mechanically, two big dials move. Dopamine dips, cortisol rises. For most of the build, dopamine has been pushing you forward. It's the fuel for the hunt. But as done gets real, your prediction system starts calculating risk. If your brain predicts that the outcome includes evaluation, it treats finish as uncertain reward with possible pain. That mismatch creates a micro-prediction error. Translation: a small dopamine drop right when you need push. Motivation softens. Meanwhile, cortisol ticks up because the system is preparing you for a social test. Focus narrows, but on the wrong thing, threat scanning, not simple closure. You've probably felt that weird flip from flow to fidget. 1 minute you're stacking blocks, next minute your mind jumps to, what if they hate slide 3? That jump maps to older circuits. The amygdala and ventral interior insula light up when we expect embarrassment or negative judgment. Studies on social anxiety and embarrassment show those regions spike when you're in the spotlight, even if the audience is small or imaginary. Finishing puts you on that small stage in your head. Your insula says, eyes are on us. Your amygdala says, pull back. And there's another layer nobody talks about: competence threat. When a thing is in progress, it's a cloud. It can be anything. When it's done, it's a line in the sand. People can compare it, rate it, reject it. Your nervous system knows that a finished artifact sets a new bar you'll have to match next time. That's work. That's risk. So the system tries to avoid locking it in. It nudges you to keep it malleable with one more pass because squishy feels safer than stamped. Now add history. If you've had times where finishing led to criticism, public or private, your brain saved that map. Visibility equals pain, so even a tiny ship can echo that old pattern. You don't consciously think, I will be shamed. You just feel a pull away. The pull is fast, body first. Thoughts show up after, dressed as reasons. The lighting's off. Timing S not ideal. I should read one more article. Classic post hoc logic to justify a reflex. This is why more time almost never solves last 10%. Time doesn't change the threat tag. Safety does. When the system senses a bounded, known exposure, the amygdala chills. When the system senses choice and capacity, dopamine comes back online. This is where autonomy and competence matter. But I'm getting ahead of us. For now, see the core: your brain isn't broken. It's doing its job. It's prioritizing social safety over speed. Let me make the prediction error piece plain. Your brain constantly guesses outcomes and adjusts effort. When it expects a clear reward, dopamine stays steady or rises. When it expects possible loss at the moment of outcome, dopamine can dip below baseline, which feels like, not worth it. Right at 90, if your inner model says finish equals exposure equals maybe shame, that dip lands. Motivation drops and your system seeks relief. Relief often looks like micro-avoidance. Snack, scroll, tweak. And bang, here's the kicker. Your cortex is smart enough to reframe avoidance as quality control. That's the micro-shame glitch. Threat response in a quality costume. Looks noble, feels bad, blocks shipping. So what do we do with that? First, name it. When you label micro-shame, you recruit prefrontal control and reduce amygdala firing. It's not woo, it's effect labeling. Second, shift what done means to your nervous system. Shrink exposure so completion doesn't equal public trial. Think, done to one safe reviewer, not the timeline of the entire internet. Third, give your brain a predictable path through the finish so it stops flinching. Rituals do that. Your system learns, this sequence ends threat. One more thing that helps, binary lines. The striatum likes clear endpoints. Is the file exported, yes or no? Clean. Abstract quality invites rumination, which keeps the threat loop open. Concrete closure gives your system a crisp win, lifts dopamine, and ends the cortisol mini spike faster. Obviously, this isn't about never feeling nerves. You will. The point is to stop treating the spike like a stop sign. It's a signpost. You're near exposure. Normalize it, bound it, and move. Knowing the wiring exists is step one. In a second, I'll give you the framework to beat it on repeat so done feels safe again. The 4-beat finish loop, core framework. Now here's the loop that makes done feel safe again. 4 beats. You run them in order. It's fast, it's boring on purpose, and it works because it tells your nervous system what's next. Most people try to white-knuckle the spike. Pros normalize it, shrink the target, time box feedback, then close the loop the same way every time. Beat 1, normalize the spike. Name it, don't wrestle it. When you feel the tight chest or the urge to just adjust spacing, say micro-shame, out loud if you can, you're not shaming yourself, you're labeling a body signal. Do the double exhale to drop arousal, then ask one simple question: what tiny finish is right in front of me? Not the perfect finish. The next binary move. And don't make this a pep talk, it's a weather report. Oh, it's raining. Grab a jacket, move on. Beat 2, shrink exposure. Finish a smaller done. This is where people save hours. Instead of publish the article to the world, make the finish, export draft as PDF, and send to one safe reviewer. Instead of ship the product page, make it push staging link and test checkout with a friend. You're not dodging real release. You're slicing the moment of exposure into a piece your system can handle without spiking into panic. The rule I use is, if you hesitate for more than 5 seconds, cut the audience or cut the scope or cut the permanence. Private link beats public post. V1 beats final. Reversible beats irreversible. You'll be shocked how fast your body calms when done doesn't mean judged by everyone forever. Beat 3, pre-decide feedback windows. This is the one most creators skip and it bites them. They finish a slice, then open the gates to endless notes, which reopens the threat loop. So before you hit send, you set the container. 2 reviewers, 2 questions, 24 hours, that's it. You can even paste the rules at the top. I'm looking for yes, no on clarity and 1 suggestion max. I ship tomorrow at 3 p.m. You just turned unknown evaluation into a bounded check. Safety goes up. You also protect momentum because there's a clear exit. If notes come late or off scope, they go to the V2 list. You're not rude, you're protecting the finish field. Beat 4, ritualize closure. Signal thread over, session complete. Your body needs a clear end to stop scanning. Pick a 2-minute ritual and make it boringly the same. Log the finish in a visible list. Say session complete out loud. Stand up, shake out your arms, sip water, light stretch, close the tab, whatever. The point is consistency. After a few runs, your nervous system learns, when we do these steps, the scary part ends. Cortisol drops faster. Next time, the spike is smaller because your body trusts the exit. Let me show you how it runs in real life. You're at 92% on a video. You feel the itch to tweak color for the 5th time. Beat 1, micro shame, double exhale. Beat 2, shrink exposure. Decide done equals exporting a 108p draft and uploading as unlisted, not public. Beat 3, pre-decide feedback. 2 people, 2 questions. Did you watch past minute 3? Was there any moment you wanted to click away? Deadline, noon tomorrow. Beat 4, ritual. Log unlisted upload done, stretch, close premiere, walk to the kitchen, water. That whole loop? 15 minutes, maybe 20. Your brain gets a clean finish without a public trial. Tomorrow you make 2 micro edits, set the schedule, and your ritual ends it again. And boom, look what happens next. Because you ritualized closure, you don't keep reopening the project to soothe the spike. You rest. You come back with a narrow plan. You don't invite the entire internet to destroy you. You invite 2 people to answer 2 binary questions. That's containment. It feels sane. But here's where most people mess up. They skip beat 3. They finish small, then toss the draft into a group chat with 6 friends and no rules. Chaos. 20 comments, half of them off topic, 3 conflicting opinions about fonts, and now your amygdala is throwing chairs. You tell yourself you need a week to rethink the concept. No, you needed a window and a cap. A couple of quick guardrails so this sticks. Write the 4 beats on a sticky and keep it near your screen. The moment you feel the urge to stall, point to it and run the loop. If any beat feels sticky, make it smaller. Can't name it out loud because you're in a cafe? Whisper it. Can't shrink exposure because it's a must post? Shrink permanence. Schedule it for tomorrow so done today is scheduled, not live. Can't limit feedback because your boss wants in. Pre-decide format, 2 questions, 3 edits max, then ship. The rule is flexibility inside structure. And now that you've got the loop, we're going to wire it into your day with minimum viable momentum so you don't have to think about it. Your habits will carry you through the last 10%. Minimum viable momentum for the last 10%, MVM. So minimum viable momentum is the smallest move that flips you from stuck to moving. Not a plan, not a pep talk. A finish that is so small your nervous system can't argue with it. Think of it like tapping a stalled car just enough to get the wheels rolling, because once there's motion, steering gets easy. Here's the rule: if it takes longer than 2 minutes, it's not MVM. We want binary, obvious, and visible. Export the file. Send the calendar invite. Hit publish, but to a private draft. Book the call. Pay the invoice. Drop the assets in the shared folder. Schedule the post for tomorrow at 10 a.m. Those are 2-minute finishes that end an open loop. Not prep. Finish. Why 2 minutes? Because your body can tolerate that window without kicking off a full panic routine. It's short enough to sneak past micro-shame, but concrete enough to trigger that little completion dopamine you need to do the next thing. And this is important. MVM doesn't solve the whole finish. It starts the finish spiral in your favor. Use the rule of 1%. Shave done into a sliver you can't dodge. If send the proposal freaks you out, make the 1%, attach the PDF, and fill the subject line. If publish the video feels huge, make the 1%, set title, set thumbnail, set schedule. If you hesitate anyway, slice again. The test is simple. Can you do it now without thinking? If not, you haven't found 1% yet. You build a momentum stack from there. One micro finish unlocks the next. Export the draft? Good. Now schedule the review window. That's MVM number 2. Log the finish in your tracker. That's number 3. Each move is tiny, but they're all in the direction of done. 3 tiny wins beat one giant plan every time because your body starts trusting motion over rumination. Let me make it concrete. You're at 93% on a landing page. You feel the itch to redesign the hero. MVM says no. Your 2-minute finish is duplicate the page, label it V1, and send a private link to one reviewer with the 2 questions. You do that. Now, without thinking, you create a V2 list right under their questions for anything non-critical. You log V1, sent. That's 3 micro finishes in about 5 minutes. Momentum is back. Tomorrow you'll implement 2 notes and schedule the go live. You didn't brute force anything, you nudged the wheel. Safety check is baked in. If you feel hesitation, you slice again until the action is frictionless. The 3 levers will hit soon: autonomy, competence, safety. Apply here, but keep it simple for now. Cut audience, cut scope, or cut permanence until your body says, fine, I can do that. Unlisted beats public. Staging beats production. Scheduled beats live. Reversible beats irreversible. Your nervous system loves off ramps. Common mistakes to avoid. 1. Don't confuse MVM with busy work. Read 3 articles about launch emails is not MVM. Write subject line and schedule send is. 2. Don't stack prep tasks and call it momentum. MVM ends something. If nothing ended, you did prep, not momentum. 3. Don't make your 2 minutes a lot. If it needs 10, that's fine. Just find the one slice that really fits 2 minutes and do that first. A quick trick that helps: pre-build a last 10% menu. Make a list of 2-minute finishes you can pick without thinking. Examples: export latest cut, upload unlisted, set title and schedule, send ready for eyes, email to Sam and Priya, create V2 list, book 15-minute feedback slot, mark ready for ship in tracker, generate invoice, click send, keep it on your desktop. When you feel the stall, point and pick. No debate. You've probably noticed how one micro finish changes your state. You breathe, your shoulders drop. You glance at the next thing and go, yeah, I can do one more. That's the point. We're not trying to be heroes. We're trying to build a body memory that says, when the spike hits, I do a tiny finish. It's boring. It's reliable. It works. Run MVM before any send, publish, export moment. Make it a reflex. Double exhale, label micro shame, pick the 2-minute finish, do it, log it. That's your ignition. Once the engine's humming, we'll pull in autonomy, competence, and safety to keep you rolling without drama. The 3 levers: autonomy, competence, safety, ACS. So momentum gets you moving. But to keep finishing without drama, your nervous system needs 3 green lights: autonomy, competence, safety. When these are explicit, micro shame drops. When they're fuzzy, the spike wins. Think of ACS like 3 dials you set before the last stretch. If one is low, your system stalls. If all 3 are clear, finishing feels like choice, not threat. Autonomy first. Replace I have to with I choose to because. Sounds small, but it flips your brain from compliance to agency. Say it out loud. I choose to ship this draft because I want clean feedback by Friday. Or, I choose to schedule this video because I promised weekly uploads and I like keeping my word. Autonomy isn't bravado, it's consent. You're reminding your body you're driving. A quick tweak that helps. Pair the choice with a why that matters today, not later. Because future me will thank me is vague. Because I want Saturday free lands now. You'll feel the difference in your chest, less tight, more steady. Now competence. Define good enough in one sentence, not vibes. Vibes invite rumination. A sentence closes the loop. Try this template. Good enough equals binary quality that target person can target action without specific failure. Example. Good enough equals audio with no clipping that a first-time viewer can watch on a phone without straining. Or, good enough equals proposal with scope, price, and next step so the client can approve without a call. That sentence becomes your finish line. If it's true, you're done. If you catch yourself reaching for just a little better, ask, does this change the binary outcome? If no, it goes to V2.